We talk endlessly about beginnings and endings. We're obsessed with the bookends, right? It's all about the starting line and the launch and the release, and then the finish line, the performance date, the big dangling fruit at the end of all this effort. But very rarely are we talking about the weird ass middle where you become disillusioned, where the clarity is gone, where the beginner's high fades and the charge just wears off. The middle is where things get really strange because that's where you have to start self generating all of your momentum. You're no longer riding inspiration, you're just maintaining something. And all of your effort, it stops feeling so heroic. It just starts feeling normal and you're inside of it. And you're not used to your identity being inside of it. You're used to your identity leading up to it. You're used to your identity gathering the storm and gathering the troops and preparing. And once you're in it, it's a whole different ball game. And our culture fucking worships starting, right? It's basically like $1 billion industry, startup culture, motivational content, right? Big, grand new ideas. We glorify the storm gathering moment. But then what? No one really teaches you how to survive in the middle. The middle feels really confusing because for a lot of us, the definition of the project itself was to just start it. And then once you're in the middle of it, that definition disappears. And then the project just sort of becomes maintenance and repetition and showing up when nothing feels new. And that's where people pivot. That's where we start to feel like something is wrong or that we fucked up something earlier. And a massive part of this is so many of us identify on like a fucking cellular level with starting over, with that fresh burst of action, with that clarity, with that gathering the storm. So many of us are so comfortable in that place, but we never work out the ability to maintain forward movement when the beginner's clarity wears off. I'm feeling this in almost every area of my life right now with musical projects, my band, this YouTube channel, business, finances, my romantic life, all of it. I am so in the trenches. I'm so far from the starting point in all of these areas that I'm really having to redefine my entire relationship with being in the middle and not sabotaging or starting over again and again and again and again. I'm old enough now to where I see that pattern. I can see my bullshit from a mile away. Most of the things in my life are leaving the honeymoon phase all at the same time. And it's exciting, but it's really uncomfortable. And it's also quite boring. And for me, I have to recognize that the boring doesn't mean wrong. And I'm trying to become fascinated with this disillusioned middle so that I actually stay for once in all of these areas because I do have some momentum. Most people who start over again and again and again, they sort of do it with everything. It's not like they just pick a couple things to completely tear down and start anew. It tends to just be a part of their identity to sort of hit the eject button when the honeymoon clarity wears off. And that's been me. And that's why I built the silencer. And that's why I have this channel. And that's why I talk about this stuff because I'm trying to redesign and interrupt that moment when you do self sabotage because you are feeling like the clarity is gone, the newness is gone, and the old identity isn't quite working anymore. And this is where overthinking really attacks. Most people think that overthinking and procrastination is mostly in the buildup, in the approach, in the wondering, in the planning. But a lot of the overthinking happens once you're in it. And that's a more lethal kind of overthinking because now you're combining hesitation with all of the magic being gone. So it's like a 1-2 KO. That's when the starting over just becomes so easy. And we are living in modern distraction abundance. It has never been easier to pivot. It's never been easier to start brand new things with AI and tools and apps and optimization at every corner. Pivoting to new things has never been easier, but implementing the same thing over and over through the weird middle has never been harder. And if you look around, the people who actually break through, they're not the best starters. They're the people who can stay in the same thing and remain scrappy and remain resourceful and can keep their stomach long after the beginner charge fades, long after the honeymoon is gone, long after it starts to feel ordinary. They sort of generate a wacky, almost irrational way of continuing to illusion themselves through the weird middle. And that's what helps them keep their stomach. And they don't get phased by the clarity wearing off. They don't get phased by looking around and going, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. And yes, there are good days and bad days for all of us, but I just don't think we talk about the middle enough. It is my current fascination, and it's currently why I am helping people with the silencer and helping people with my stuff and my email list, because there's absolutely no shortage of resources and homies out there who can help you start. But let's try to help each other stay and instill some confidence when the middle gets weird, because that's where all the real shit happens. And most people just don't stay long enough to find out. If you're feeling the weird middle right now, I just want to encourage you to not look around and gather evidence as to why something is wrong. Embrace it as the normal part of something real being built. And the unavoidable loss of clarity and loss of hype and loss of the definition of the project. Thanks for hanging out with me. I believe in you.